For this exercise, we're going to be looking at Polygon Primitive. With Polygon Primitive, it'll allow you to create a lot of shape. It's pretty much an industry standard when it comes to modeling. So we're gonna, before we even get into the primitives and all that stuff, I just want to show you one basic operation, and that's going to open up the whole windows of modeling tools for you. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and switch your module in the menu to polygons, and then we're going to go ahead and exercise on tool called extrude tool. So we're going to start out by using create cube primitive. Press hotkey F, right mouse click to switch to the modeling view. Press hotkey F for focus view. Press hotkey Phi to see it shaded. So right now in the Polygon Primitive, we especially the cube, we have various of components. If you hold down to the right mouse button, you can see you got a vertex, face, edges, and UV. For now, all you need to worry about is vertex, face, and edge. So let's go ahead and take a look at what are those. Vertex are very similar to NURBS, control vertex. So you select the point and you move around, and there's your vertex. If you hold on to the right mouse button and choose the face mode, you can see I have this face. I can move it. I can scale this. I can rotate it. Now apply for the edge as well. Choose the edge mode, right mouse click, choose the edge mode, select the edges. You can rotate, you can scale. Now, the cool thing with polygon face is that you can even delete a face. So I can go ahead and select this face, and I can punch a hole by deleting it. I'm going to Control Z to undo this. Okay, so the very important tool I want to show you is called poly extrusion. Okay, so if you go ahead and go to the face mode, select one of the face, go to Edit Mesh, Extrude. By doing that, you can see we have this manipulator, extrude manipulator show up. So you got your blue arrow, red arrow, and green arrow, and you got your, red, blue, green box and the circle. So that is your manipulator for translate, rotate, and scale. So I'm going to go ahead and drag on the blue arrow. Now that is moving on a normal direction. So if I go ahead and drag it, you can see that this plane is moving. One more time, Control Z. You can see that the direction that's moving is actually perpendicular to this angle of this plane, and that is so-called the normal direction. So if I go ahead and select this plane, and I go to Edit Mesh, Extrude, and go ahead and drag on the blue arrow, you can see I can extrude up for more shape. I can click on the box. I can go ahead and perform some scaling. Pretty good. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and start using some of the primitive. So we're going to first go ahead and take a look at basically the spheres are really similar to NURB. You can see that it actually have less subdivision or less option than NURB. You got one division, one radius. You got 20 division on U and 20 division on V. It's going to sit on the y-axis. So it's pretty straightforward. That's the poly spheres right here. Okay, if there's anything I would like to show you is that if you change this subdivision to maybe 10 or so, you can see that it's very faceted. Okay, this is considered a low polygon geometry. And say if you want to choose the faces and then you want to punch a hole by delete it, you can. Or maybe this is some sort of eyes you want to do for your character in the future. You can choose, select those four faces and extrude them. Click on the box for scaling mode, click and drag to drag it to the left. So that kind of create this extruded loop. You can press hotkey G key, that will reactivating the extrude tool. You can click and drag it on the blue arrow. Click on the box. Okay, so it kind of create almost like an eye socket type of feel to it. Like that. Okay, by the way, what I just pressed, the hotkey for that is 3. 3 is a preview of the smooth mode. Okay, it's a preview, so keep in mind it's not actually looking like this yet until you actually go to mesh and smooth. Okay, so I'll explain about that in class about what is the true mode and what is the smooth mode. But for now, just keep in mind when you actually rendering, which is this icon right here, this is what it actually look like. But if I go ahead and select geometry and go to mesh, smooth, you see that that's going to give it more subdivision, and that's going to give more of a rounded shape. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at cube. Cube, or people in the industry refer to as a box modeling. Okay, box modeling is probably one of the most common method to use in modeling. So with this exercise, we can go ahead and choose the cube, and we can probably create a simple hand. Okay, so maybe for now I will choose the polycube options. I want to change my subdivision on width to 3, subdivision on depth. Okay, so right now I have 3 by 1 by 2 on my division. Okay, let's go ahead and change this on scale. So scale this down. So we can treat this as the base of the hand. Okay, and you can start out by say, I'm going to select those vertex here, and I'm going to scale it inwards a little bit. So you make it feels more narrower toward the wrist. Okay, so I can go ahead and say I will do 3 fingers. Or even though with the hand, I can do 3 fingers, but I'm just going to demo 1 or 2. So select that face right here, and that could be the index finger. Go ahead and use Edit Mesh, Extrude, drag it out on the blue arrow, which is your normal direction. If you want to move it out a little bit so it offsets slightly, you can go ahead and click on the scale to make it smaller. Here you can see that there are your options right here, so you can change the division. So maybe I'll change that to, if you drag on the triangle right here, so maybe I'll change that to 1. Okay. You can play with the offset. You can play with the thickness. Okay, so right now I'll leave it like this. So press hotkey G key to reactivate the extrude and bring this out. And click on the box, scale it slightly, press hotkey G key, bring it inward, and then press hotkey G key, bring this out. Make it smaller. This is a feature that's kind of new for Maya 2.10, 2.11. So I'm not used to use this, and feel free to utilize this tool. But I'm just used to just change or shaping it by using the manipulator. Okay, so say do 1 more knuckles. This finger might be a bit long. So go ahead and select all these vertex maybe and move it so it's not too long. Okay, so if you press the hotkey 3, it can kind of give you like an idea of what this might look like. Okay. So maybe for the pinky, it doesn't really have a pronounced knuckles. So I'm going to go ahead and extrude this 1 more time. And maybe what I want to do is to Select this face up here, extrude this, click on the box, scale it inward, push it down, press hotkey G key, bring it up. Maybe one more time, press hotkey G key, bring it up, scale it inward slightly, move it forward. Take these faces right here, this one face, sorry, press hotkey G key. Okay, and you can probably figure that's probably going to be the nail. Go ahead and select those two sets of vertex on both ends. Scale it inward. There you go. Press hotkey 3. Got a simple finger. You could use more time to tweak it though, but say for example, I can go to the component mode. Maybe these nails kind of stick up too high. Then I will take this and tuck it further down. Okay. Yeah. So you can repeat that for the rest of the finger. Again, if you feel this is too big, you can select the vertex. Now, let me show you one way of scaling it properly. You can see that there is a pivot point. By default, is sitting right at the center of the selection. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the scale tool. To change the pivot point, press the hotkey Insert key, drag it to the base. Press hotkey Insert to get out of the pivot point mode, and I can go ahead and drag on the yellow box for a uniform scale. There we go. For the sum, you can probably do the same thing. You can go to the face mode right here. Oh wait, I said this is the index, so then this is the sum. So then you can go to extrude this way, move it this way, click on the circle to switch to the rotation, and drag it to create a nice little shift of angle. Press hotkey G key again, drag on the arrow for move, rotation by click on the circle, click on the box if you want to make it smaller. Press hotkey G key, scale, move, and rotate. Okay, and then the rest you kind of get an idea. Okay, these sums need some more work, but the effect with modeling is that you just keep tweaking. Okay, you go into the vertex, you're shaping them. You keep on using the reference, and you manipulate the form. Okay, you can start giving a character to the shape by just keep on tweaking the vertex. Okay, so that's a quick exercise on using the polygon cube using the extrude. So I'm going to get rid of that. The next one I'm going to take a look at. They're pretty similar, so I'm going to skip if you already see the NUR primitive, so they are similar. Prism and pyramid, I don't really use them. Feel free to create them and play with it if you want to experiment with the shape. Okay, so what I found it very interesting to use is pipe and helix. Okay, so let me show you. Let's first look at the pipe first. So with this pipe geometry, you can see it looks almost like a cylinder, but it has a hollow section inside. So what I like to do is I'm going to do a quick demo on creating like a gears. Okay, so in the channel box under the input, I'm going to make the radius slightly wider. Okay, that's good. And for the sake of demo, to save time, I'll change it from 20 division to 12. Alright, good. Now go to the face mode, right mouse click, choose the face mode. Another way you can access the face mode is by going to the component mode and then choose face. Okay, but either way. So choose every other face, hold on the shift key, just rotate your view. I know it will take some time, but I know you'll get it. So there we go. Every other face is selected. Choose edit mesh, extrude. Since we extruded out on the normal direction, okay, so that's so-called the local extruding. So if I drag it out on the blue arrow, you can see the face is moving on their all their normal direction. I can take it further by click on the box and then activate the scale. Very nice. So now we get a very simple composition of a gear. You can combine the animation I talked about and rotate it. Good. Let's move on to helix. So helix are really cool. You can use this to create a telephone cord. You can use this to create a spring or a water slide, all kind of cool stuff. So if I highlight the input, I'm going to change my coils. Okay, so change my coils to, this is the three rings of coil. Let's go ahead and make the height taller first so they don't bunch up like that. So highlight the height, middle mouse, drag it to the left and right, and you can see that we separate it a little bit more. So if you are doing it for biomedical visualization and things like that, you can create a DNA structure or compound by starting with helix. So highlight the coils, middle mouse, drag it to the left or right, and you can see we are changing the shape, and this kind of remind me of telephone cord. You can go ahead and change the width. So by changing the width, you can see you can make it thinner. I'm sorry, it didn't make it thinner, but it make it tighter or much wider. So this is probably more like a shape of the spring. So if you make the height even go taller, then this is more like a swing. A spring. You can change the radius to make it go smaller if you want. Okay, so this is a really thin wire spring. You get an idea. Okay, so I think the helix are very powerful geometry. Back in the day, I have to generate it with kind of a procedural modeling with circle and loft and utilize some math and all that. But now it gives it to you as a primitive. So very powerful feature. All right, we're going to stop right here and hope you have fun modeling.